Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning this episode of Nick Egan Times. On this episode, we have a tremendous high impact and respected security industry professional. We have the sensational DeBo from DeBo Secured. DeBo is the founder and driving force behind the impressive DeBo Secured LLC. DeBo is a security company that operates across the US and internationally, providing elite executive protection, secure transportation, surveillance, and high-profile event security. DeBo Secured has become a trusted presence around major and elite names in entertainment, music, government, and sports, delivering top-tier security with professionalism and incredible precision. Welcome to the highly respected DeBo, and thanks for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
You're welcome, my friend. All right, let's jump straight into it. Take us back. Tell us about your family, your life growing up, and everything relating to that.
So originally I'm from Macon, Georgia. For those within the industry and found Young Jeezy, he's from there and grew up, country, so we grew up pretty much competitive. Everything that you do is bragging rights, everything that you do, you want to do it the best way, so growing up there playing ball and anything you have your mind set on, you achieve it, so it was funny just coming into this field of industry from football into executive protection and learning the original guys who've been in the game longer than me with more wisdom, a guy by the name of OG Jizzle. He was one of Young Jeezy's first bodyguard. And Megan is dangerous, like shooting and fighting comes second nature. It wakes you up in the morning, scares you at night. And to later meet him and learn that he was the actual guy protecting who we just were hearing our ears as far as music, it meant more to me into what I do every day.
That's incredible. And tell me about specifically your upbringing and how that shaped you as well, and I guess the ambitions and drive as well.
Yeah, the upbringing was definitely with discipline, far as hard work ethic, with those coaches and my mentors, everything being a reason and it having a why versus we're just doing this for today or I just want you to do this to be good. I'm just doing this because I'm telling you to. Everything had a reason as to why. And again, I had to find my why into where I'm at today because my upbringing, my dad was military. He wanted me to go into the military. But I had an attitude problem. I was not the guy who could stand there and allow another guy to yell in my face, let alone spit or disrespect me without showing me why, showing me why he should be
Yeah,
that
yeah,
guy to talk to
yeah,
me like
sure.
that. So that was my upbringing. It was definitely clean and straight and militant. And as I again started doing security, I started in club bouncing, just bouncing around. I'm sorry. And when I was given the opportunity to do executive protection, the why came about again, so and the why for me is as a man, you are a protector as a man because every man wants to have a family. In order to have a family, you have to protect that family, to keep that family. So that is my why. And far as my upbringing, far as my dad being military and, and militant background.
Yeah, yeah, wonderful. Tell me about DeBo Secured and I guess how that came to life and what it represents to you now.
So the name itself came in college. Again, competitiveness and a little bit of a bully. I was the guy in the locker room and that teammate. I took and did what I want, and I dominated on the field and at practice. And one of the coaches gave me that name. So I had the name in college as I was still on the football dreaming path. Once I transitioned over into security and was just bouncing at clubs, I kept the name because, of course, you want to be discreet as you're out, at late night in case things pop off. And again, that same opportunity that presented itself, I was doing it so often to where I was getting tugged and pulled so many places to where so many people wanted me to be in so many different states and places at once. And I'm like, hey, I need a team. And I'm very team oriented and I know how to be a leader as well as a team and support a player as far as character. And that's how it came about. I slowly began recruiting guys. Um, and providing them work far as training them, letting them, take the same classes and courses and certifications as far as I did. And I really built the team, and the team has been around since 2022. And we've been given a lot of opportunities, especially within Atlanta. A lot of stuff happens in Atlanta as far as low profile, high profile, but it's all about how did you build your team and the standard that you hold your team to. So it means a lot to me because it literally came from me being who I am, as far as the name, and I turned it to a whole different level.
Yeah, that's fascinating. Great insights. Thanks for sharing. What's the most challenging part of owning DeBo Secured and I guess managing a team?
The challenging part is egos. You get guys who are older than me, so you get guys who are, especially with men, we have our egos and I'm older than this guy. Why should he be my boss? Why should I listen to him? Or hey, I actually served in the military. I've done X amount of years and been on tours or, just been on those 12-hour in suits and boots. Why should I listen to him? So that's a big thing that you have to deal with and let it be known as far as a respect level. Because as men, once again, we're rough. We want what we want and we believe what we leave, what we want to believe. We don't really like take orders. Some don't, some do. So that was a major thing for us egos with guys and making sure that they're reliable because you can lose contracts. You'll get a contract personal, like let's say you're offering me a contract right now. We have a great interview and I show you all of my credentials and you confirm of us working for you and the first guy I send is late or doesn't have good customer service skills and or probably just does something out of code of conduct and now that contract is gone. And it's not only him that, takes accountability, but the team do too. We suffer as well because now no one else has the opportunity to even work that same site and contract to, make money, let alone make the company look good. So those are two major things as far as egos of guys with building the team and as well as making sure they're trustworthy and reliable.
Yeah, that would be incredibly difficult, having in people that are consistent and trustworthy because at the end of the day, you rely on that for food, like that's your money, right? So yeah, I could imagine how actually difficult that really would be.
Right, right, right. Not even our money. I mean, their money is our money altogether,
Yeah, yeah,
as a team.
yeah,
Absolutely.
100%. Yeah. What's the proudest moment, like achievement you've had since you've had DeBo secured?
Man, the proudest moment I would say is the moments that we get to do those private high profile events. We did one with Spotify, Spelman College. We did TI, as far as at the Trap Museum. We did we did DTLR. We do K Camp at times with his private events. We've done Drewski's could have been like auditions and reunions. We've done Taylor Johnson's sponsors, events. So those moments as such are proud because we're getting booked and we get an opportunity to go out and show who we are and how we do. Just as football, we get an opportunity to go play in front of fans and to show who you are and what you do and end with a win. So and every moment that we get booked is a bigger is a big moment for
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
That's just the type of guy I am. It's not just one moment I hold on to. It's every day because we get better, we become more strong together. So I would say every time that we get booked to do I hope a high profile event because it's it's intense. It's intense.
What? Yeah, wonderful. That's great. What separates you from other security companies? Like, what's your key differentiator, and what, I guess, do you pride yourself on making you stand out against, other security firms and competition?
Accountability. I stand strong on how the bad guy only has to get it right one time, but us as a good guy, we have to get it right every time. So I would say that separates me from other companies because I don't tolerate, tardiness or excuses. I'm real big on being a man of your word, or being honest, and real big on family first, because that trustworthy and being able to trust you, because what we do is dangerous. So I can't work at night with a guy I can't trust. Something pop off. No one has my back and I, get hurt, let alone lose my life. So that's first. I feel like the values that I install and make sure that we have before we even begin and step out, suited and booted, being boots on the ground is different from any other company because we strive to aim to get it right every time just off of the fact that we know it only takes the bad guy to get it right one time. And that could be at any risk and liability.
Wow, that's great insights. And how do you personally decide clients and projects? What makes you go, okay, I'm going to do that?
Them needing safety. Our motto is taking back your safety. So just them or me being contacted or someone telling me someone needs security. It's in the sense of a superhero. It's someone that needs protection. And that's our motto is taking back your safety. So that's what we build off of as far as us is literally just someone needing security services. It's us providing and letting them know that your safety is taken care of. If your safety was taken away from you, we're here to take it back.
Excellent. And how
So
do
the
you yeah, go, no, sorry, continue, please.
no, 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 that was it. That was it. That was it.
Okay, cool. How do you personally handle pressure?
Verbal judo and meditation, with yoga. That's how I personally handle pressure because what we do, it weighs a very heavy amount of weight on your mental. It starts mentally. A lot of people be in bad spaces, and that's how bad decisions happen. And at that point, it's too late to fix that bad decision or what happened. You can't go back in time. So I handle it with meditating, and as well as once a stressful situation has presented itself, I use verbal judo and I de-escalate. I try to solve the problem, not become the problem, and just talk gently and let them know that they're being heard of whatever that situation may be, and kindly try to just separate and allow us to make it back home to our families and loved ones.
Terrific. Do you ever, when you're doing security, do you ever have like a fear that there might be issues post that or like after it, an event or anything when you're doing security? Is that actually a problem?
Absolutely.
Sure, sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's why we tell guys in the field you may hear the two word stay dangerous. That's like our see you later, take care, have a good day, talk to you later. We tell each other stay dangerous. And what comes behind that is stay ready so you don't have to get ready. You never know what the intent may be. It may have felt good, and in that moment, it's seen as if, okay, whew, this is over
Yeah,
with. We squashed it. We're good, but you never know what their intent is. So you have to move as such. You have to move as if there's a threat every time, just so you're already 10 toes leaning, ready to engage. So that's exactly how I move, as if it wasn't squashed, as if it wasn't taken care of. Until I'm home in my bed behind my closed locked door
yeah,
is when I believe and when I can say, okay. Yeah, but even in the future, man, you just got to be aware. That's why you have to have great memory as far as recognizing guys and situations. Get some guys that forget how a guy look, and it's the same guy that you just bumped into or maybe have roughed house or roughed up last week. Especially, I learned that working the clubs. Being a bouncer, I'm at the door checking you
sure.
coming into my club. So I'm seeing guys, and then once we have a dispute and we had to, handle that situation, I'm on edge the whole entire time. And the list just keeps going because oh man,
Yeah,
this
yeah,
December, this January, we had two guys. So for me, I have a whole list of guys that I have not forgotten about what happened and how we met, and just to be prepared for if they may do hold a grudge and retaliate, because revenge is the best dish served cold.
sure, sure. That's really great insights again. How do you think you've personally matured since you started DeBo Secured to you are now?
Man, a lot. Just and I hate to continue to repeat myself, but the transition from working at clubs is very different from protecting a human being. You're laying
Sure.
your life down on the line. It's to the point where you will be the one to take the bullet for them to ensure their safety and ensure that they make it home to their family and kids if the cause is for you not to. So that alone is a very mature pill to swallow and accept and be eager and know that's what you're there to do. Which brings you back to your why, finding your why,
Yeah.
which is why do I do this? That was another pinpoint as far as my maturity, because doing clubs, you learn depending on how you came into the game. You get some guys who always had a dream of being a protector or security, or probably had mentors or their parents were, and they actually followed in those footsteps. But if you're a guy that kind of just got into it from having the size, and you're learning from experience, hands-on experience as you go, you learn the do's and don'ts. And there was a lot of, do's and don'ts that you could learn in the club. So once stepping from that, learning more, class, training, and getting to where I am today was a big maturity eye opener for me, which
Wow,
sets
you
me different from past to the present. Even speaking how I am now, the guy that used to work the club, he
yeah.
wouldn't be able to speak like this.
Well, you should be incredibly proud, and you're very well spoken, and you're very mature beyond your years. So, yeah.
Thank you.
What's the best compliment you've ever received?
Professional. Hey man, thank you though. You're very professional. I would say that's the best compliment that I enjoy to hear. And once it's given to me, um, you know, it's good to hear. Sometimes you work for clients that don't even say thank you. But to hear a client response or feedback be, hey, you're very professional, we love you, or however I handle the situation, hey man, that was very professional. I feel, great because anybody could just say thank you and leave it at that, but they chose to label it as professionalism to where as a perfectionist, I do this with the perfection and I give off what they receive, so that would be my
That's,
biggest compliment.
that's impressive. Again, you should be proud. What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Oh, best piece of advice I would say is don't trust no one. You get a lot of guys, and I will say, let me not be a hypocrite as far as you have to trust the guy you work with.
Mm.
I'm saying more so as in someone outside that you're working with, like a client or a customer, serve what they need as far as, what they request, but don't trust it for a long run. You get guys who get high hopes and get love bombed by clients because we deal with males and females, and they immediately just retain this big amount of trust to where, oh, they'll never leave me and get a new guard, or they'll never, they'll be here forever. I work with this client until I'm ready and comfortable to depart in separate ways. So when I say don't trust no one, I'm speaking in the context of that because you get a lot of guys who will fall into depression or grudgement just from getting laid off, or just something happening that caused a delay of them being able to work because, we're all human beings and we all got the same bills that we have to pay. So that sets you that sets you in a dark space that you wouldn't want to be in. I would definitely the best advice would be to keep it professional and business over, friendship when it comes to with your client.
That's great advice. And what would you say to a young DeBo? Very similar position, maybe even same background, that's willing to take the leap and open their own business. What advice would you give them?
I would give them to learn their why. As I said, are you sure you want to do this? This is a job to where you can wake up this Wednesday, day before Thanksgiving, like, hey, I'm just gonna make some money going into Thanksgiving for the holiday. I'm bored tonight, and you don't wake up for Thanksgiving. So it's literally that quick of a moment. So my first advice would be me asking them of their in are you sure? Are you positive? Because once you start, you can go back and you can quit, but you also will leave, a bad name for yourself. So once you leave, you can't come back. So it's my advice would just make sure this is something that you want to do because it comes with long hours. It comes with spontaneous schedulings and bookings. It comes with its own calendar. It comes with its own life. So the life that you thought you would keep or you had before will change once you begin. So my advice to them would be me really making sure that this is something they want to begin.
Yeah, for sure. That's really, really great advice. Thanks for sharing. What's the biggest challenge, should I say, facing DeBo Secured today?
Today, I would just say the economy with everything going on. Of course, it's not a big adversity for us. We overcome any and everything. But, with the government shutdown, that actually, in most cases, caused a big need for some security services, depending on the area and what was needed. But at the same time, some funding, which of course affected some clients to continue funding our services. So, but that's over now. So that kind of like today, but that's the most recent because today we don't have any problem.
That's great. You're living the life. Um, what would you like your legacy to be?
I would like my legacy to be something that's that's just everlasting. It's a lot of guys who I've hired and who've been with me for 2 or more years, and they've pulled me to the side and said, "Hey, man, you changed my life." There's a lot of guys that moved to Atlanta and is looking for a job but don't know what they're gonna do, or was doing security from the state they came from and wanted to continue that career coming to Atlanta, and I was able to provide that for them. And at the time, we was blessed enough to have, a contract or whatever the work case may be, and I was able to staff that guy or that employee and change their life. So I just wanted to be everlasting as far as DeBo Secured. Hey man, I remember that like he changed my life. I started working for him. I came here with nothing or I was in a bad space. I wasn't making no money. He taught me a lot. And now I branched off and became this. Because there's guys who work for me who I don't gatekeep. I don't keep them down. It's guys that work for me that has started their own security company as well. And that hasn't stopped anything. They still work for me. They still support
Yeah.
me. I still engage with them. We'll even do contracts together as two companies, subcontracting. So I just wanted to be that open space of everlasting to know that, as long as there's no disloyalty or distrust, it's open arms. It's a bridge that'll never be burned. And one that someone can always cross and even cross to prevail. So everlasting.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And what's an example of elite protection that people don't know or don't understand?
One more time.
What's an example of elite protection most people don't understand?
As I said, that their safety is our priority.
Sure.
Depending on what they do, sets a level of their liability. But as their protector, we treat every outing, every event as if it's a high risk. So what they don't understand, you get clients that, hey, I'm just going here for 30 minutes or I'm just going to this event for 2 hours. Okay, that's fine. It may be daytime, it may be in a good area, but there also may be someone that has a grudge with someone we don't know and a drive-by happens. Or there also may be, and this is something recently, um, we're departing from Hartsfield-Jackson Airport on the international side, and there's a bomb threat, which literally just happened about 2 or 3 days ago. There's a bomb threat at Hartsfield-Jackson Airport on the international side. So we step out the house, treating everything as high risk. So nothing is not looked upon as nonchalantly. Like, oh man, it's nothing, man. It's just real quick. You gonna charge me that? You get some to try to negotiate your life. Like you want to tell me how much my life costs in case something
Well,
happens.
yeah.
So that's the biggest misunderstanding when they try to negotiate what you are comfortable with risking your life for. And at the same time, that person that's on the other end negotiating wouldn't last nor want to do one day in your shoe or one night. So that's the biggest misunderstanding that they need to understand is that at any given moment, even at the park, you know, it's it's real. Life is real. Life is real.
Well, thanks for sharing. Um, can you share some celebrity stories and experiences and insights that you've dealt with us?
Good or bad? Good or bad?
Both. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Whatever you want to do.
Of course, of course. It's great. I would share one that's
Cool.
most recent and great. So this year I was awarded Eagle Eye Protector of the Year with KSE Entertainment. Uh, just for all of my hard work and having that keen awareness anytime that I'm working. And my client, K Camp, I've been with him for 4 years, going on 5. His mother was the one to present me the award. And
Oh,
she
wow.
called me. It's funny, the same night of the award ceremony, K Camp had an event he was attending in Vegas, Las Vegas. And I was just going to be the guy to, hey, okay, I got nominated for this award. If I win, accept the award on my behalf as I'm at work. And she personally called me to say, hey, I need you there. My son would be okay. You need a night to yourself to be honored for what you do, and that is the mother of the client telling me, and that's a mother being someone who's nurtured him and carried him for 9 months and still caring for him up until his age of his 30s, telling me to take off to be at this award ceremony. And I was given that award, and I also met a lot of great elite executive protector agents. Man, I met the guy that does what he's been doing, Tyrese and Kanye West. I was able to meet Elijah Muhammad's bodyguard. So the minister, as far as the Nation of Islam, Fruit of Islam, I was able to meet their bodyguard, and they're very, very respectful and militant how they move. So that all in itself was a celebrity client moment, um, and dealing with that client's mother for me that I choose to share because on the night of me receiving the award, I'm receiving it from my client's mother, and a lot of other agents who was there receiving awards were receiving it from their client that they've been with 10 plus years, which is great, but it was a different celebrity moment for me for his mom to be the one to award me with that award.
Yeah, well, that just shows the level of trust and love, like it's incredible. Like, that really shows who you are and how professional and I guess, your person that you are. So yeah, it's incredibly impressive.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. Thank you for sharing that. What do you like to do in your downtime away from security? What are your hobbies and passions aside from that?
it kind of still all plays a part into security, man. I like to train. I like to keep my size. I'm working out. As I mentioned, I'm meditating. I will say I'm a big family guy, so I spend as much time as I can with my family in the downtime because my schedule is so spontaneous and I'm on the road a lot, a lot, depending on the client's needs. And I'm doing combative training. I'm sharpening my skills uh, so that it becomes even more natural than breathing, in the moment, just to be able to react. So those pretty much are my hobbies. It's still around the same thing. I know it may be boring, but that's what keeps me consistent.
Yeah, I was about to say that. It really keeps you consistent. That's what you want in life, right? You want that longevity. So yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, 100%. What is your favorite place you've been to? You've obviously traveled a lot, on the road. Where's your like go-to place? You're like, I'm really excited to go here now.
I would just say in order from the places I've been, number one would be Canada. Number two would be Greece. Number three would be London, and number four would be Nigeria. And I'll get excitement with one and two. I'll get excitement with one and two.
Yeah.
Those are just great places, man. Canada is a different. You could taste the air. Like as soon as you land off the plane, the air itself is different. If you ever been, you may know what I'm talking about. If not, please go experience it. And as far as Greece, man, the people there are just so friendly. Like there's no dangerous stuff that happens there often. So you could literally have a night out like this with all my jewelry on, stay out
Sure.
until 4 or 5 in the morning and not cross not one theft or, a bad guy or criminal. So I would say those are the
Yeah.
places for me.
Yeah, fabulous. Thanks, Terry. If you were 18 again and you could change anything, this can be personally or professionally, what would you change?
I would change how long it took me to begin.
Sure.
I would change how long it took me to begin because I didn't start until seriously, and it still started with the club first instead of executive protector. I didn't start until after COVID. I was still like playing ball. I was still doing other things instead of just choosing this and knowing that this is my path. Because I later in life found my purpose in life, which is helping other people. I gain pleasure out of just helping someone free of cost. Just them saying, "Hey man, thank you, you helped me," or as I shared with you, thank you, that was very professional. So I would change how long it took me to begin because it literally made me the man I am today. And I could have saved a lot of miscellaneous activity and trouble that I've gotten into. I started earlier than what I did, so that would be something I'll change.
Well, that's impressive. Thank you for sharing that. Debo, thank you very much for coming on the podcast. You should be incredibly proud of your business and everything you're doing. It's wonderful. Like I couldn't describe into words how proud you should be. And yeah, thank you again for coming on.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Nick. Anytime.
Thank you, my brother.